Verb is a very important part of speech in English. Basically, these are words in a sentence that describe what the subject is doing. They give you an idea about what is happening in the sentence. Sometimes all it takes for a sentence to be complete are a noun and a verb that agrees with it. Of course, they will be simplest of sentences. For example, I am or she does. Now, there are several ways in which you can classify verbs, but today we will be talking about a specific kind of classification. That is, finite verbs and non-finite verbs. Now, let's talk about finite verbs first. What are finite verbs? Now, there are several characteristics by which you can identify a finite verb. Like, finite verbs immediately follow the subject. They also agree to the subject, that is, they change according to the subject's person and its number. Also, finite verbs change according to the tense. That is, if you look at a sentence and its finite verb, you will be able to tell what the tense the sentence is in. Now, these are all the reasons why finite verbs are also called the main verb in a sentence. In fact, let's take a few examples to understand better. Let's say, I want chocolate, he wants chocolate, they wanted chocolate. Now in I want chocolate, the subject is first person singular, and that's exactly why it is followed by want. In the second example, he wants chocolate. He is third person singular, and that's exactly why it's followed by wants. Now in the third example, that is they wanted chocolate, they is third person plural and it's followed by wanted, which makes you understand that the sentence is in past tense. Now these you can call are the examples of finite verbs. Now let's move on to non-finite verbs. Now non-finite verbs do the exact opposite of finite verbs. They don't have any characteristics that the main verb or the finite verbs have. They look like verbs, but they are not actually verbs. They don't act as verbs in a sentence. In fact, they act as adverbs, adjectives, and sometimes even nouns. Now, non-finite verbs don't really follow the subject. They don't have tense and they remain neutral no matter what the number or the person of the subject is. Now, there are three types of non-finite verbs. They are gerunds, participles, and infinitives. Let's talk about gerunds. Now, you can get a gerund by adding ing to the base form of a verb. For example, skiing, reading, or dancing. But, like I said before, they don't act as verbs. In fact, they act as nouns. And in a sentence, they sometimes act as the subject and sometimes the object. We will take a few examples. Let's say, he likes swimming. He likes swimming. Now, swimming is the gerund here. Or you can say, do you enjoy reading? Do you enjoy reading? Now, reading is the gerund here. Another example, let's say, having finished his homework, he left. Having finished his homework, he left. Now, having is the gerund here. Now, let's move on to participles. Now, participles are used in a sentence as an adjective or an adverb. They are of two types. They are past participles and present participles. Now, the past participle of a verb appears exactly as the past tense of it. Sometimes an ed is added at the end and sometimes it takes a whole another form. For example, raised, written, or sung. Now let's take an example where it's used as an adjective phrase. For example, the chicken eaten by the children was contaminated. The chicken eaten by the children was contaminated. Now, if you use it as an adverb, you can say, seen from his perspective, I understand that the problem is more serious than I thought. Seen from his perspective, I understand that the problem is more serious than I thought. Now, the present participles are the ones where the verb take the ing form. For example, raising, singing, or dancing. They actually are exactly the same as the gerunds, but there is a big difference. It's actually pretty distinct. But before we look at the difference between the two, let's take a few examples for present participles. For example, The man sitting over there is my uncle. The man sitting over there is my uncle. Looking at the fields, I found what the problem is. Looking at the fields, I found what the problem is. Now, if we look at the difference between the gerunds and the present participles, the gerunds are always used as the noun, but the present participles can be an adjective or an adverb. Let's take an example. For gerund, you can say, I like sleeping, or sleeping is not allowed. In both these cases, sleeping is used as a noun, and that's why it's gerund. Now let's take a few examples for the present participle. The sleeping girl over there is my sister. The sleeping girl over there is my sister. Now sleeping is used as an adjective here. That's why it's present participle, not a gerund. Now let's take a look at infinitives. Now if you add to with the basic form of a verb, it's called an infinitive. In fact, sometimes even only the bare form of a verb is used and they are called bare infinitives. We will take a few examples to understand better. For example, he aims to pass the exam this time. He aims to pass the exam this time. To pass is the infinitive. Another example, he won't fail to complete the task. He won't fail to complete the task. Here, to fail is the infinitive. You can use infinitives as a noun phrase. They act as the subject in a sentence. For example, to climb up there is an impossible task. To climb up there is an impossible task. You can also use these as objects, like in it was nice to meet you. It was nice to meet you. Let's take another example. Let's say, in order to win, you must learn to fight. In order to win, you must learn to fight. In fact, why don't we take another example? I'll try to be there by 10 o'clock. I will try to be there by 10 o'clock. Now these are all examples of two infinitives. For bare infinitives, you can say, I can go to the market. I can go to the market. Here go is the bare infinitive. Another example, you should give it a try. You should give it a try. Give is the bare infinitive here. In fact, let's take another example. You can't make me eat this. You can't make me eat this. Eat is the bare infinitive here. Now some verbs take to infinitive and some verbs take bare infinitive. Most times they are not interchangeable, but sometimes they are. Of course, there are always exceptions. Now all these classifications are a bit confusing unless you know how and where to use them. So which kind of verbs take which kind of non-finite verbs? It's something that we will be discussing in the upcoming videos because these are really very important while learning English grammar. So if you like this video, give it a like and consider subscribing to my channel, guys. It would mean a lot. And thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next one.